McCain Vogel here with this week's Cover Crop Connection. At last week's National Strip-Tillage Conference in Madison, Wisconsin, I had the chance to catch up with Gary Zimmer, also known as the father of biological farming, who was attending the conference in hopes of learning more about how strip-till can fit into his biological farming practices. Here's what he had to say about the role that cover crops can play in a strip-till system.
You can get a really good crop by just playing the chemistry game and put on this nutrient, that nutrient, and feed it this and feed it that. But you see, if we look at where cover crops fit in, is that I'm trying to get a diversity of biology. I have to have that by a diversity of feeds. And the more diversity of biology, every one of those people are talking, they use insecticides, fungicides, pesticides, they're constantly having to protect the plant, where I'd rather have the biology protected by having diversity, and I want to get my nutrients in that carbon biological cycle. Not only are they time released, but they can't leach, they can't erode, and I can constantly feed that crop. I think if we truly want to have healthy soils that are high yielding without tons and tons of inputs, I think we really need to play a much bigger focus on biology, and cover crops and plant diversity are really a big part of soil health. I think we're limited here in the upper Midwest from the standpoint that time we get our corn and beans harvested in the fall, it's too late to have much, if we're just going to grow those two crops. So rye becomes one of the obvious things. Interseeding hasn't worked for everybody out here, and so rye is, because you can plant rye in November and still have it grow, and then the management of it always the issue, and I realize that's only one crop. Ideally, we'd be spending a lot more time and effort and research on developing cover crops for a specific need. We do have some, like mustard to control nematodes. We grow a lot of clover and legumes to get our nitrogen sources out here, and I want to have deep-rooted plants, and I wanted shallow-rooted, but we don't. The only way you have an opportunity to grow those cocktail mixes is to be able to have a third crop in your rotation, like wheat, and then you could, in August, you could plant that cocktail mix now. But corn and beans, you're really limited.
Zimmer says he'd like to see farmers be more intentional with cover crops and ask themselves what they are trying to achieve with a specific cover crop in their system. Well, that's all for this week's Cover Crop Connection. Until next time, I'm McCain Vogel.